Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another episode of the Ocean Star Sports Show. I'm your host, sports reporter Dominic Polio. Again, a packed show for you this week, and we're kicking things off with the Ocean County Softball Tournament, where Brick Township hosted Toms River South in the first round last week. Here are the highlights. It was a long week of softball for the Brick Township Dragons, and amidst the string of games was the first round of this year's Ocean County Tournament. Seeded at 3, the Dragons hosted and beat 14-seeded Toms River South 10-0 in 5 innings. The first 2 innings went scoreless, though, as Brick Township was just getting warmed up. The Dragons then managed to score on a crazy play in the third. With the bases juiced, Jamie Fogarty lined a grounder to center to score 2 runs. She was then caught in a pickle before getting tagged out. Marissa Narwhal, who had reached third, tried to make it home, but also got tagged out to close the inning. But in the fourth, Brick Township added runs on a walk with the bases loaded and a hit by pitch also with the bases loaded for the 4-0 lead. Fast forward to the 5th inning, and that's when the Dragons ran off with the win. With runners on second and third, Juliana Forbes drops a ball into right center to score a run. Then it was Christine Frazee who stole home on a pass ball before Corinne Connolly knocked in 2 more with a long shot to right field that went for a triple. Connolly then stole home on a wild pitch to extend the lead to 9-0. The Indians brought in a new pitcher, but the Dragons didn't skip a beat. With Alexa Haley on second, Fogarty hit a pop-up to shallow center that could not be reached. Haley reaches home on the play, and the Dragons pick up the win to advance 10-0. And there you have it. A dominant win for the Dragons moves them on to the second round of the Ocean County Tournament, which conveniently is our second highlight of the show. And again, it was the crosstown rivalry for the 3rd time this spring. Brick Township hosted Brick Memorial, and it was as good as it gets, as always. Let's see how it all played out. For the 3rd time this season, Brick Memorial and Brick Township battled it out on the softball field. This time it was the second round of the Ocean County Tournament, and again it was the Green Dragons who came up with the win 8-5. The first inning went scoreless, but the Dragons were able to score first in the second on a Jamie Fogarty ground out to Jordan Pfister. Brick Township then increased its lead in the third. With runners on first and second, Corinne Connolly smashed a ball out to left field. First across the plate was Juliana Forbes, who takes out Alyssa Philbin, who was going after the wide throw. Then comes in Samantha Lay, who manages to beat Pfister, coming back for the tag at the plate. Erica O'Rourke then followed up with an RBI single to give the Dragons a 4-0 lead after 3 innings. The Mustangs managed to get on the board in the 4th, scoring on a pass ball at home with yet another collision. Christine Frazee bounced back with a strikeout to close the side, though, and the offense went back to work. Lay hits an RBI single with the bases loaded, and Alexa Haley follows up with a double to score 2 more for Brick Township. Trailing 7-1, the Mustangs kept chipping away. Jordan Rachinsky stole home for a run in the 5th, and Alyssa Sculthorpe beats out a tight throw at first to score another. The Dragons were looking for more runs in the 6th, and Connolly answered with a solo blast over the left field fence to give her team the 8-3 lead. The Mustangs tried to rally in the 7th, and Tori Lucarelli drove in a run with a single to right. Then Michelle Foster hit a sacrifice fly to score Brick Memorial's final run. The Dragons' defense stayed strong, and Lay makes the routine play to secure the win and move Brick Township on to the semifinals. A nice battle there from the Mustangs at the end, but it just wasn't enough to pull out the win. It is a shame that the 2 Brick teams had to go against each other so early in the tournament, but you never know, they might meet one last time before the season's over. We're sticking with softball as we move on to the next highlight, and that is Point Pleasant Borough softball, who hosted Freehold Borough in the Battle of Boroughs. It was senior night for the Panthers, and they were not going away without a win. The Point Borough softball team worked tirelessly to pick up the senior night victory over visiting Freehold Borough 11-7. Borough's defense was on point early. A nice pickoff here at second, and a diving catch from Danny Payton in center field highlighted the first inning. The Panthers then earned a spot on the scoreboard in the bottom of the second thanks to a Haley Furlong hit down the first base line. The Colonials answered in the third inning, though, scoring the first of 4 runs on a single up the middle. And it was a missed throw to first that allowed another run in before Freehold Burrows scored on a play at the plate. Up 3-1, the Colonials scored once more on a fielder's choice for the 3-run lead. Burrow wasted little time responding, though, as Maeve McKeon drove in a run with a hit up the middle. Peyton ground out to second, then scored another. The Panthers then took the lead courtesy of Ashley DeSantis, who smacked a hard grounder to left that scored 2 runs. With a 5-4 lead, a bases-loaded walk knotted the game at 5 for the Colonials in the 4th. But again, the Panthers answered, this time on an RBI single from Jamie Morris to score Peyton. Morris then stole home to increase the Panther lead to 7-5 by inning's end. In the bottom 5th, Burrow loaded the bases on a walk and 2 perfect bunts that left the Colonial defense without a play to be made. Then it was McKeon again with an RBI single up the middle. Morris followed up with a hit that snuck its way through the infield, scoring 2 more for the Panthers to close the 5th. The Panthers earned 1 more run off the bat of McKeon. This time, she absolutely belts one to the center field fence for a run in the 6th. With 2 outs put away, the Colonials managed to score 2 runs in the 7th on a shallow hit to left field before the Panthers closed out the win. It was a hit to the outfield that looked like it would yield even more runs for the Colonials, but DeSantis gets the ball back into Morris, who recovers with a throw to Furlong at home. The Burrow catcher makes the tag to secure the final out and the 11-7 win. A nice recovery on that play at the end there to close out the win for the Panthers. The Panthers went on to play in the first round of the state tournament yesterday against Barnegat. Speaking of state tournaments, my last highlight is boys lacrosse. The Brick Memorial boys lacrosse team hosted Jackson Memorial in the first round of the state tournament, and it was an exciting game. Brick Memorial picked up the win for the 2nd year in a row, and an offensive player set a new school record. Check it out. The Brick Memorial boys lacrosse team held on to beat Jackson Memorial in the first round of the South Jersey Group 3 state tournament. Seeded at 8, the Mustangs beat the 9-seeded Jaguars 8-6 on Wednesday. The Mustangs got off to a hot start in the first. Zach Morton scored the first goal, and Mikey Mauder followed up with another a minute later. Then it was Adam Plumacher who found the cage for the Mustangs. Before the quarter closed, Henry Moran got in on the action with a nice shot on a hard angle. Trailing by 4, the Jaguars got on the board to start the second with a Mustang in the penalty box. Joey Ferrara then answered for Brick Memorial with a milestone goal. His score sets a new school record for goals scored in a single season. 30 seconds later, it was Ferrara again with his second goal to put the Mustangs up 6-1. The Jaguars kept battling, though, and found the net twice more before Gavin Murphy notched his first goal of the game to close the first half with a 7-3 Mustangs lead. But the Jaguars came clawing back into contention in the third quarter. They pieced together goal after goal after goal to eventually pull within 1 score of Brick Memorial 7-6. The final quarter was tense, and the Jaguars came close to scoring multiple times. Down the stretch, though, it was strong play from Matt Wood between the pipes that kept the Mustangs ahead. Then, with 12 seconds left to play, Murphy hits his second goal of the game to ice the first round win. Brick Memorial moves on to the next round. Congratulations, Joey, on setting the new school record for goals scored in a single season. Very impressive. The Mustangs will now face top-seeded Morristown in the next round of the tournament. That is the final highlight of today's Ocean Star Sports Show. But, as you always know, there is plenty more sports in the actual newspaper. So make sure you pick up today's copy of the Ocean Star. That is May 19th, 2017. Read it front to back. A lot of good stuff in there. In the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter at Dom Polio. That's at DOMPOLLIO. As always, I'd like to thank you for stopping by and checking out the show. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back next week for more. There's going to be more Ocean County tournament action and more state tournament action for you. Signing off for Star News Group, I'm Dominic Polio, wishing you a happy weekend.